What's going on? Welcome in, everybody. Hopefully, everybody could hear me. Sorry, I have my microphone off to the side. I want to make sure it's not muted. Okay, that's what happens when you don't do this all the time, right? So let me just make sure that everybody can hear me and see me, and then I'll get started. I see a couple people in here already, so thank you guys that were kind of waiting. And so just let me know if somebody could just let me know in the chat that you can hear me and see me. I could see myself. I have YouTube running over here to make sure the video is good. So I just want to make sure you guys can hear me, and I'll get started here. All right, Meg. Thank you, Meg. Appreciate it. Meg is one of my awesome moderators, not only here on YouTube, but on Facebook. So you'll see her interacting there. So speaking of Facebook, those of you that don't know, I have a Facebook group as well. So if you're not part of that Facebook group, go ahead and see us over there at the Beach Life on YouTube. And then also I'm an admin on the Carnival Radiance cruise page. I've been trying to get that out there for those people in the Facebook roll call groups, etc. So Carnival Radiance cruise page. For any of the, of course, join your specific, and we're going to talk about that today. It's one of the topics. Join your specific roll call groups, but also try to get into that big Carnival Radiance cruise page group so that you can ask questions in there, because those smaller groups, they're not as active. I'll be honest with you. And again, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. So let me just go ahead. I see people coming in. So I'm just going to give a global hello to everybody. And as I interact with you, I'll probably give you like an individual hello, but I'm not going to do the traditional, what most people do in live shows, go through the whole list of highs and hellos, because a lot of this will be watched on a on a rewatch or later on, that kind of thing. And nobody wants to watch 20 minutes of highs and hellos. Let's just be honest. So hello to everybody that's here. Thank you so much for being in here. So while I'm waiting for everybody to come in, let me just talk about what I wanted to cover today. And we've tried to do this in the past, and then obviously the questions and answers that happen throughout the live show take precedence. So as we go through and people are asking questions, we want to answer those questions. And then if we get to my little agenda, that's great. If we don't, no big deal. It's just nice to have it. But what I do want to talk about, if we have time, so some helpful hints before the trip. I had put some of this stuff out on social media, but in case some of you didn't catch that, I want to talk about it in here. Maybe people can add to that list. So I have my list up, and I'm going to go back. So make sure it's obviously in the chat, so that way I can go back later on. I'm going to add it to this master list that I'll be sharing with everybody. Things to bring with you, right? That's a common question. Clothing or otherwise, embarkation day tips, carry-on items, those kind of things. So those are some of the items, and then of course, just in general, embarkation on the ship, parking, cruise terminal. I know I've made videos about all this, but not everybody's had a chance to watch those videos. Not everybody likes watching videos. Some would rather just ask the question and move on, and I can respect that. So I have a big list here of things to cover about embarkation day, general ship questions, all kinds of stuff, from the main dining room to et cetera, et cetera. But of course I've been on the Radiance many a times, but there's a lot of people that have been on there as well that have different experiences. I haven't been to everything, right? So that's where everybody else comes into play. So this isn't about me. This is about us as a cruise family, as a Carnival Radiance cruise family. So this is what the show's about. As I've mentioned in past live shows, I'm not doing traditional live shows where it's just kind of general cruise talk. Mine are focused on the Carnival Radiance, because that's pretty much all I'm doing right now. So I will be doing the Horizon in September, but that's a one-off type of situation. So again, welcome in everybody. I'm just going to kind of go through the chat to make sure there aren't any questions that I've missed. So hey, I see just some newer faces that are newer to the chat. So those of you that have been with me for a while, please welcome them in. I see Michael Von Hussen. Michael, I hope I didn't butcher your last name. So welcome in. So if my cruise family, if we can welcome in some of these new people, I surely appreciate that, and let them know that they are welcome to be here. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. Let's see here. Where is my list? Okay, so before the trip, so this is one of the things that I had put this out on my Facebook group and stuff, but I just wanted to reshare it here. So before the trip, first and foremost, I tell people join the Facebook groups, right? That's really, really a key thing, because it gets you an opportunity. And this is not, and again, this is if you end up sailing something other than Radiance. Some of this is global, right? So join the Facebook group for your ship, and there's many of them. There's for the out here on the West Coast, specifically for the Radiance, specifically for the Panorama, specifically for the Miracle, and then you have the roll call groups, which are the specific sailing group, right? And they call them roll call groups, and that's for your specific sailing. So if you're sailing, July 11th, tomorrow, the one that goes out tomorrow, so you would want to join the Carnival Radiance July 11th Facebook group, and they exist. And I maintain a list in the Carnival Radiance cruise page that I was talking about. And what I'll do is I'll add those links into the description as well. So you can always go back and take a look at it. If you need it now, we'll get that. We'll get that for you. So definitely, let me go make sure. Okay, something about global. Honey, you've been on the Radiance? Nope. First time. Linda Purcell, just subscribe. Not all of us are lucky as you, Mark, to just go around to every other ship. So we take what we can get, right? Just subscribe. Happy to be here. Linda Purcell, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you for subscribing to the channel. There's my man, Chuck. Chuck's another great moderator and helper for the channel. So again, I want to thank and acknowledge those people that do a lot and help me out here in the channel. So thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate it. All right. So join the Facebook group again, specifically for the sailing, and then of course for the ship. So download the Carnival Hub App and Verify. So this is where there's going to be probably a little bit of a point of contention when I talk about Verify. But let me talk about the Carnival Hub App. Very, very key. It doesn't matter whether you're doing the Radiance or any other ship. Download that Carnival Hub App. It doesn't do a whole lot in the beginning. It just basically redirects you to carnival.com. But it's also that where people will show their little countdown and things like that. So just keep that in mind. The Carnival Hub App, where it becomes really key important is when you get on the ship. So when you get on the ship, that's when you're going to have all of the dining options, all of the bars, and then they have deck plans. So if you're trying to figure out where you're going, it's all there available on your phone. So it's very, very helpful. There's all kinds of other information, like the times that things are open, not just food, food bars, etc. It's like that. So that Carnival Hub App is key. So make sure to download it, and as soon as you can, once you get on the ship, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But try to do your muster as soon as possible. Get your drink, get your food, and then as soon as you have a little bit of downtime, get your luggage. If you're like me, try to unpack. I like to unpack as soon as possible. If not, no big deal. But try to familiarize yourself with that Hub App. I'm telling you, you're going to come back and thank me. You're going to say, thank you for that advice, because it's going to help you, especially if you're a first-timer to Carnival, first-timer to cruising. It's going to help you a ton. I'm just telling you. Now, Verify, right? Let me just make sure I'm not missing any questions. I see just a bunch of highs and hellos. Okay, here we go. Can you please compare size of oh, gosh. Roger Kruger, thank you for the question. Can you please compare size of casinos between the Radiance versus the Panorama? I've been on both, and gosh, I'm trying to think. It's been a while since I've been on the Panorama. That was back in October of 2021. And Radiance, the Panorama is obviously a bigger ship, but I feel like the Radiance has a really good sized casino for its class size, right? I would say if the Panorama casino is a little bit bigger, it's not by much, but I feel like the Radiance casino is really, really good size. I think the Panorama is bigger. And again, I'm just trying to think. It's been a while. If anybody who's been on maybe the Panorama and Radiance more recently and spends more time in the casino, please feel free to chime in for Roger and help him that question. But I feel like they're pretty close. I feel like the Radiance one, again, for the class of the size of ship, it's pretty good size. See, Daniel's agreeing. The Radiance, it's. I was really surprised by how large it is. Chuck swears by the Hub App. Yeah, it's great. Even for me, as much as I cruise and all that stuff, I use the heck out of that Hub App. And I use it to check in for your time dining. There's so many different things. And I may end up maybe doing a live show where we kind of go through, maybe on the ship. The internet's been really, really bad. We'll maybe talk about that a little bit. I did a live show from the ship, and it was choppy. People said they were able to hear me, but the video quality wasn't great. And I feel like last time I was on in June, I couldn't even do Facebook most of the time to upload pictures and stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll figure something out about the Hub App, and maybe do a live show where we talk about the Hub App. I'll try to figure out how. The Radiance was bigger. The casino was bigger than the Navigator. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you for sharing that. Radiance has a great casino. We hang out there every cruise. Yeah, I love it. I'm in there. Yeah, every cruise as well. Like I said, and on the Panorama, I'll be honest with you, I didn't spend a lot of time in there. I do remember that it was good size, whatever. For two reasons. The first time I went, I was with my best friend and his family. It was their first cruise, and I was spending a lot of time with them. So I didn't spend a lot of time. And the second time around, it was a Halloween cruise with a bunch of friends from the cruise community. And again, same thing. I was trying to spend as much time with those friends. So I didn't spend a lot of time in the casino. On the Radiance, I've definitely spent a lot more time in the casino. Hey, Nancy, I see you there. I see Jeffrey's Angel. Welcome in. Let's see. Open the app anytime to find out what's happening at the moment. Right, exactly. That's the other nice part. Oh, the shows, right? That's a good reminder of the shows or anything that's happening exactly at that time, as Chuck said. So what's happening out on the Lido deck and that kind of thing. So events throughout. So some people used to love getting those fun times, the paper copies, kind of old school. Now, if you don't want to use the Hub app for that part of it, you could still get the daily activity sheets at the guest services. It's just to the right of the Platinum Diamond line. So you got your regular line, then you have like a single line for the Platinum Diamond. Just to the right of it, there's like a little thing with papers in it, and you don't have to wait in line for it. Just walk around and just say excuse me, whatever, and grab and do daily. So that's at the guest services. The other one is over at Java Blue Cafe, again over off to the side there, and the Red Frog Rum Bar, not the pub on deck 5, the Rum Bar out on the Lido deck. So those are the 3 places you can get the daily activity sheets if you'd like a paper copy versus going to. Some people want to be unplugged, and I'm not here to say one way or the other, right? I know some people would like to stay unplugged. Just know that there's a lot of great information, but if that's one less thing you want to do is to go on your phone to see what's happening daily, go get those paper copies. No big deal at all. So problem with the Radiance Wi-Fi is it can be so affordable that too many people. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it is affordable, I guess, comparatively speaking. To have internet out in the middle of the ocean. I just, I didn't notice it as much or didn't feel it as much earlier on when they weren't booking to capacity. And I think that's part of the problem is that more people are booking. So I guess it all kind of ties in together. I mean, I think you're always going to have a bandwidth issue the more people use it. Same thing like people that use the cable company internet, right? They're all kind of sharing that same bandwidth. So same thing, except you're on a ship, and you got to factor that in. So yeah, it's tough, but it is what it is. Arlington Brock, thank you. Welcome in. And on 8/22/22. Okay, we'll be on the ship for the first time, taking my kids, 13 and 14. Any info on Circle C or other stuff for them? Okay, so my kids have not, since the restart, haven't cruised. But in the past, we've always used it. Now, we haven't used it on the Radiance, obviously. And my kids are older now. If there's anybody here that can help answer any questions in regard to Camp Ocean, Circle C, etc. But other stuff for them to do, they have the upper deck area that they call it Sports Square, where you'll see the ropes course. So at that age, if they're not afraid of heights or pretty adventurous, I would definitely recommend the ropes course. There's a basketball court up there. There's some little exercise equipment. There's a track. There's a mini golf course up at the top, right around the funnel. So where you see that big Carnival funnel, you'll see there's a mini golf course. That's always fun. I love playing some miniature golf. Same thing in that Radiance or that Sports Square area, excuse me. There's a remember correctly, there's a pool table. I have it in one of my videos. If you haven't watched any of my videos, and it's just a shameless plug, I have in one of my videos where I cover the Sports Square, mini golf, and all that. So check that out if you haven't already. But there's like a chess or checkers board up there in that Sports Square area. Of course, there's the arcade for them there. So there's definitely activities. I would say there's a little bit more on the Panorama than there is on the Radiance. But all in all, I'll tell you just from general experience, when my kids have been cruising since they're very, very young, and they've always loved Camp Ocean. They've loved going and hanging out, meeting new friends. And so if your 13 and 14-year-old are social and this and that, they'll really, really love the experience. So hopefully that helps. And again, if there's anything else that anybody wants to share in regards to kids or teenagers with Arlington, please feel free to in the chat. The Hub app also keeps ship's time so you can set your analog watch before going ashore. Yeah, good point. It's really, really important to be aware of that ship time. There are tons to do for teens. Yeah. I mean, so some of the stuff I mentioned there are the most common ones that I've seen. And they were up there having fun. I did some filming up there. Even on this last cruise, I haven't put the videos out yet, but I did some more filming up there and, up there playing basketball and doing all that stuff. So definitely some fun things for them to do. All right, while we're waiting for more questions and stuff to come in. Okay, Mark saying, my kids have always loved spending time with the kids groups and always made friends quickly there. Yeah, I agree. That's definitely a fun area, again, for kids to do. And it's funny because in the beginning, you're always kind of worried, like, oh, man, are they going to enjoy it? And then they don't want to leave. Like, they don't want to hang out with you. You're like, hey, can we at least just do a family dinner, right? And after a while, they're like, can I go have, just go have pizza with my friends? And so that's, a judgment call for you as a parent, what you'd like to do. We try to let them have their freedom and enjoy themselves. We know they're good kids and they're, going to do the right thing. But on the other hand, we do want a little bit of family time. So we tell them, hey, can we at least have dinner together and do whatever you need to do? Okay, so I just kind of going back to my list here as we're waiting for some more questions or comments. So joining the Facebook groups, downloading the Carnival Hub app, Verify. Okay, so I was going to say that's going to be a little bit of a point of contention, and feel free to disagree with me in the chat. It's okay. This is what it's all about. So I have used it twice, and both times I found it to be a bit cumbersome. It's kind of clunky when you're adding stuff. You got to rescan, and I understand that some of the things are, we can't hang on to some of this information because of HIPAA, et cetera, whatever. Okay, I get it, but it's like if I have to do all that extra work, is it really worth it? Versus I've already got it printed out. Yeah, we'd love to save some trees and things like that, but some of the things, a lot of people I've talked to, they're like, well, I printed it out as a backup anyway. So it's like, okay, well, if you're already doing that, is it really worth it? So here's my thought. My thought is, and again, I'm doing this as one person. There might be a bit of a time savings if you are a larger family. So anybody that would like to, interject that into the chat. But I could tell you, my friend and I both were traveling solo. He had it Verify, and he went into the tabletop next to me, and I was to the right of him, and I was just doing it old school with everything. We literally finished right at the same time. So was it worth it as a single cruiser? That's for you to decide, right? Or if you're cruising solo. As a family, so that process took a few minutes. So even as a family, I'd be curious to see if anybody felt like it was a time savings, if they've done it the old school way and then they did it with Verify, if they saw a difference. So please interject and let me know. I'm open to listening and hearing and all that. Manmeet Singh, hello, welcome in. Thank you for being here. I'll be taking the Carnival Radiance. The embarkation time is 5 p.m. What is the right time to reach Long Beach? Definitely not at 5 p.m. I think they close up at 3:30 is the last. So you would want to get in there as soon as possible, but you're going to check in. So when is your cruise? Didn't tell you there. When is your cruise? Just out of curiosity. And so you want to get in there at your check-in time or as close to it as possible. So when your cruise, whenever it's coming up, you're going to have a time to check in, and you'll put in all your passport information, all that stuff, and you'll be assigned a check-in time. So you want to get there around that check-in time. I can tell you, if you're planning on giving your bags to the porters, get there before 2 p.m. I think they stop working, if I remember correctly, unless something's changed at 2 p.m. So you want to get there beforehand, even if you have to sit around for a little bit. If you want to check your bags in, I would definitely recommend. So yeah, but I think at the latest it's 3:30. You don't want to push it. You don't want to be there that late, even if I don't think. Unless some people are trying to fly in on the same day and they're kind of pushing it. I wouldn't recommend that. Not it's for every person to decide, but yeah. So I would say try to get there as soon as you can around your check-in time. Hardest part of the kids club is convincing the kids to give it a try. After they do, they usually, very, very good point, Nancy. A very good point. And that's what I was mentioning, that, like most kids are kind of hesitant. They're like, oh, I don't know. Or am I going to make friends? And they get in there. And you know what's funny? I feel like cruise adults and cruise kids are pretty much the same vibe. Like cruise adults kind of make friends really easy. I feel it's different. And correct me if I'm wrong, like versus going to a land-based vacation. Like when we went to Maui in April, other than hanging out with our friends that were there with us, people don't chat with each other. We're in the pool. Other people, everybody's just doing their own thing. I feel like on a cruise ship, everybody's like friendly, and I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Same thing with the kids, I feel. So, hey there, Soren CR. Hello from Costa Rica. Well, hello back to you. Oh my gosh, Costa Rica is one of those places on my bucket list. So thank you for joining us here from Costa Rica. July 18th. Okay. Ooh, 8 more days. Right? Yeah, 8 more days. So, okay. Yeah. Have you checked in? You should have checked in by now, right? For your cruise. Have you checked in for your cruise? Let me know. I have no problems with bringing my copies. The last 6 cruises were less than 10 minutes. Yeah, okay. And it was just the 2 of you? I see 2 people in the profile picture, so I'm just assuming. Do you have kids? Let us know. I'm just curious. So, but yeah, less than 10 minutes to check in. Would just bring in paper. I don't know. I don't feel it's like a big deal. That's pushing your luck given LA area traffic. Yeah, that's definitely a good point. Hey there, Beth. Welcome in. It's definitely nice hanging out with Beth and Doug this weekend. Got to hang out. That's another thing I love about the cruise family. So I met Beth and Doug, just to digress for just a second. I met them at a Las Vegas meetup. Early on, September of 2020, I think it was. And, and just you make all these cruises. They joined me for my birthday cruise here this past June, and got to hang out with them this weekend, go do some pool time and have a great dinner. So Beth and Doug, great people. But just in general, I only mention that to reinforce my point about how amazing the cruise community is like you meet people all through the cruising community or on a cruise, and then you end up with lifelong friends. And that is one of the things I love about cruising. You did check in. Okay. Did you get a check-in time at the end? I know, I'm sorry. We're kind of go. Did you get a check-in time at the end? And if you did, do you remember what it was? You should have got one. I booked my cruise yesterday. I board on July 18th. What is the earliest boarding time? We got 10:30. I think it varies. I've seen, I think, so the suites get the first boarding, like the pre-boarding, if you will, the suite guests. They don't have the platinum and diamond early boarding anymore. They don't have the faster the fun right now. Again, that's been on temporary hold. So I've been cruising every month since January, and I've been getting anywhere between 9:30 and 10:30. So that's a pretty good time. And they don't, well, you said boarding time. I'm sorry. So the check-in time, and I want to clarify. So there's the check-in time, and that's when you actually check in and get into the terminal, do all the paperwork stuff that we talked about. And then there's the actual boarding time. The boarding time is when you get on the ship. So if you think about, so you check in and then you sit in the terminal and wait. So the actual boarding time, sorry to answer your question properly, Linda, it's been on average around 11:30. I think my last cruise they started a little bit earlier. I think about 11-ish. If I remember correctly, but on average from all these cruises I've done, it's been around 11:30. So so 10:30 check. And so I'm guessing you got a 10:30 check-in time. So the boarding time will be anywhere between 11 and 11:30 on average. July 30th on Mardi Gras for us. Any Mardi Gras veterans here? Great to see you too. And one of the cruises, it was 6 of us. Okay. Same thing. I bring a folder and paper clip everyone's documents together. Okay, so you sound like me. My kids showed their papers and we were boarded. Yeah, see, and that's the thing. I travel with a clipboard with all my stuff, all the paperwork in it, my vaccine card, my boarding pass, my passport, etc. And I'll tell you, every time, and you guys were probably thanked as well. They thank me every time. Thank you so much. This makes it so much easier for us. So I just have it all ready to go. And that's why I said I didn't see an advantage. For me personally, I didn't see an advantage for Verifly. It's just another app for me to have to deal with or whatever. And I love electronics. I love technology. Don't get me wrong. But to me, I feel like if I'm going to go through that, why not? I need it to make it easier for me. If it's about the same, it's just additional work. That's just me. That's just my thought, my philosophy. At 10 a.m. on the last one. Okay. Staff asked us, had we done the muster drill before? We said yes, and they said, okay, that was all for the muster drill also. Wow, okay. I don't know that staff was probably taking a risk. I mean, it's small. It's easy enough as it is. I mean, my last video I did for embarkation day for my June 10th cruise, I showed, I think it was, the video had a little extra fluff in there because I met one of the staff members I know was in there, and he ended up filming. So there's extra fluff in there. But I think the actual muster drill itself was maybe a minute and a half, if that, of that video. So yeah, the muster drills are so much easier. I know, and I hope they keep it. I'm really worried, Chuck, that these people not going to the muster drill, and this is why I'm trying to do my part, and I ask my fellow vloggers and my fellow YouTubers, my fellow cruisers, as you talk to first timers. I feel a lot of it is people that haven't cruised before, or maybe in a long time. And I can tell you, just talking to a lot of first timers, they're like, "What the heck's a muster drill?" So I try to include that in my last video. I think I'm going to make one just specifically about the muster drill to share. I'm going to just cut out that portion, maybe, or just do another one on my next cruise. I'm not sure yet, but anyway, I think it's our job to try to help people where we can. And thanks, mods. Thank you, Meg, for catching that. Anyway, so to try to help, educate and help the first time cruisers. My daughter is 4 years old. She's not vaccinated because of her age. Can she get on the cruise? And can my daughter get off in Mexico, or would she have to stay on the ship? Yeah, I would definitely direct you to the have fun, be safe protocols for Carnival. And I'm going to get that if somebody else has the link. Let me get that link and drop it in for you. I'll tell you, for those of you that have been following my channel for a while, I try to stay away from anything that could impact you from getting on a cruise or getting on and off the ship. So anything with vaccinations, testing, things like that, I try to stay away from it and direct you over to Carnival, because for a few reasons. One, things are changing all the time, and I would hate to give you information that turns out to be outdated. So that link I just dropped in there is where Carnival always updates, right? So you'll see it'll even say like updated with the date. So I would direct you to there, and or calling Carnival directly. And I apologize. I try to answer pretty much all questions. Those are just ones that I stay away from. I could tell you on my last cruise, I asked the question about the unvaccinated cruisers, and they said, and I want to say like 11 and under, you can get off the ship freely, but the I think 12 and older, or whatever it was, you had to be in a Carnival excursion. But again, that could have changed. That was a few cruises ago. That's why I just try to really be careful with answering those questions. I hope you can understand. Yes, we have been cruising once a month. Each time it was so easy. All right, you're doing the once a month like me. What time does the cruise board? What time should we get off the ship on the last day? Can we pay tips in advance? Thank you very much. Okay, lots of great questions there. So I was just mentioning earlier, and this may have come in afterwards, but that the boarding time has been on average, and again, I'm saying on average, around 11:30 is when they start the boarding. This last cruise, they started a little bit earlier. It was for me the most populated cruise of them all. So maybe that was one of the reasons why they started earlier, and they started like around 11-ish. That's the boarding. What time should you get up on the live ship? That's really up to you. If you, I'm the type I have a long drive back to Arizona, so I try to get off that ship as quick as possible. You have to be out of the rooms by 8:30, if I remember correctly. Yeah, as far as getting out, I mean, they'll have breakfast available. So some people will get out of their rooms by, before the allotted time, go have breakfast and just kind of relax and kind of wait to get kicked off the ship. And I say that in jest, right? So they kind of wait until they absolutely have to get off the ship because they're just not in a hurry to go home. For me, I have, almost a 6-hour drive home. So I want to get started on it. So I end up, trying to get off the ship. I usually even skip breakfast and just get on the road. Can we pay tips in advance? Absolutely. You could do the prepayment of the gratuity, or they will take it out on the last evening of the cruise. So, and I'm going to add this in here. And again, everybody has different, thoughts and whatever. I also like to bring extra small bills to tip in the ports and even on the ship. I like to tip, some of the staff that I see, that are just working hard, whether it's for me or others. And it's just something I like to do personally, and every little bit doesn't matter. You don't have to be high roll or whatever. Every little bit you give them, they're very appreciative. So, Thank you, Kenny. I see that you said you reported that. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's going to happen, those type of things. James Catanese, thank you. Welcome in. Saying hi and hi back to you. So I want to just acknowledge some of our new family members. And again, a lot of you guys that have been around with me a while. Yeah, the bots are attacking. It's okay. It happens. That's why you have great mods in here that take care of that stuff. Meg was all over it. We had trouble with verifying last cruise, but boarded no problem with all our documents in order and in hand. See, and that's the other thing I heard, Beth. Thank you for bringing that up. So that's the other thing I've heard other people mention. It worked for me. It didn't work for my husband, or worked for me. It didn't work for my wife, or whatever. Excuse me. So that was the other thing. I thought to myself, and then you end up having to go back to paper. So what's the point? I don't know. To me, again, like I said, I know other people love it. They swear by it, this and that. Maybe I'm a little bit of a harsh critic. I don't know. I don't think I'm being harsh. I'm just being honest. I think sometimes, people think, oh, well, I don't want to sound negative. I'm not trying to sound negative. I can tell you that right now. I'm just trying to be honest and give you my perspective. And that's the thing we need to take away from YouTube or asking questions on Facebook. I tell the people all this all the time, and I'm trying to preach it more and more. Take what we say at face value, right? We'll take what we say as a baseline of understanding, and then go to kind of like what I was telling the person earlier about the vaccines and this and that. Some people will answer those questions, and you know what? More power to them. I just try to point you in the right direction, or just say, here's my experiences, or this and that. But just whatever you watch on YouTube or see on Facebook and things like that, please just don't take that as gospel, right? I mean, even me, as often as I cruise on the Radiance, I lean on staff members. I do have connections with staff members, so I'll reach out to staff members or other cruisers through roll call groups. I'll go in and ask people while they're on the ship, hey, can you answer this question? Help. I try to use all the sources available to me. That's just me. That's how I do things. So, but thank you, Beth, for mentioning that. This is that link I posted earlier. So any of you that have any questions about the vaccines, testing, etc., that's the link there. I may end up at, thank you there. I saw you reported that. Let's see what else we have here. Oop, chat jumped on me. Adrian Rivera, on back-to-back, can I grab a 12-pack from someone who's just checking on to my second leg? Can I grab a 12-pack from someone who is just checking on to my second leg? Sorry, I'm a little confused with the question. Okay, so if you're doing a back-to-back, so you mean, are you getting off to grab the? I'm a little confused. I apologize. I don't understand what the question is. So here's the thing. Let me just say. So when you're boarding, you can bring a 12-pack on. I've also heard. I haven't done it personally, and people feel free to add in if you have done it personally. I've heard when you leave the port, you can bring another 12-pack on or a bottle of wine, etc. So you can do that per port. Again, I haven't done it myself. I've heard that you can. On the back-to-back. You can get off the ship, and there's actually Amazon lockers. So if you want to go grab a 12-pack from an Amazon locker and bring it on, I just want to make sure I understand exactly what you're asking. Someone who's just checking onto my second leg. So if they're bringing one on for you, from some, I think I don't want to just assume what the question is. I'm sorry. If you could re-ask it. Do you do at-home testing? If so, who do you use and what does it cost? Great question, Arlington. Thank you. This was asked of me earlier on Facebook. I do. I've used the at-home testing. See if I have since the restart of cruising, and that's all I've ever done. I use the Abbott COVID Binex Now COVID-19, and just keep in mind. Oh, I'm covering it up. Let me see. This is always fun. Okay, that RX only. If you buy that one, then you download the Navica app, like it says right there, and you do it all through. And so the cost of the test is included in the Proctor test is included when you purchase this. Now, recently, John Hill put out that you can use. There's the non-RX one that you can buy from wherever, and there's the one that the government was giving out for free. You can use those tests, and then there's that. Is it Optum? I don't know. I'd have to look it up. And if somebody has the information, please go ahead and drop that link in here. But there's also, you could pay, I think it's like $15 as well, and do it. So, but that's the one I use. And I pre-purchased these. I mean, had I known that they were going to allow, but they just recently did that, allow you to use those other ones and then use the prop. But anyway, I do the proctored at home test. This is the one I use, and I ordered it from emed.com, emed.com. Oh, the cost. Let me see. The costs. Order now. Let's see here. It is for that one. For a 2-pack, it's $69.99, but again, that includes the testing. And for a 6-pack, it's $150. I'm going to drop the link in here for you or anybody else that wants it. And but you can buy those other tests cheaper. And I think, again, like I said, or if you have the free ones from the government, and then you can just do the proctor testing for $15 through the. I want to say it's Opta. Hopefully somebody will have dropped the link. I'm trying to get caught up in the chat here. Linda's asking, when is my next cruise? My next one is, I wish it was this month. It should have been July 8th. And I was like, should I book one for July? I just had a lot going on with the 4th of July. I'm going to San Diego. We're going to Rocky Point, Mexico, Puerto Penasco, for those of you familiar with it, down here just south of Arizona, here in a couple weeks, and then I'm going back to San Diego again for my 30th high school reunion. So it's just going to be a busy month, and I was like, do I want to try to squeeze in a cruise, and decided not to. And I regret it. I really wish I was on this last July 8th sailing. So anyway, to answer your question, my next one is August 19th. So I am booked on the Radiance. I'll just mention it here in case anybody is interested. I'm booked on the Radiance again August 19th. Then I'm going to go on the Carnival Horizon September 11th with a large group of people, 60 plus people. I'll be roommates with my buddy Mark from the Cruise World that you've seen here in the chat. October 7th, I'll be back on the Radiance. November 11th, I'll be back on the Radiance. December 2nd, I'll be back on the Radiance. January 6th, I'll be on the Radiance. And February 24th, I'll be on the Radiance. I haven't booked past that just because I've used up all my cool casino deals. So I'm just waiting for more to drop, and I'll book some more. They started earlier because it was my birthday. There you go. Got off the Radiance Friday, had the best time. Oh, I'm so glad, Sonia. Yeah, thank you for leaving that message on Facebook. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad that it was helpful for you and for your family. And I really, from the bottom of my heart, really appreciate when people give me that feedback. As I'm doing what I'm doing truly for, and I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna just take a minute to say this. I try to every time. I'm not doing it for the money. I guarantee you there's not much money to be made in it, unless you're a larger channel, which, I'm far away from that. The money I'm making, I'm donating to St. Jude. So this September, I think when I'm going on the Horizon, I'm probably gonna do. I'm debating whether I wait till December, since I haven't decided yet. It'll be either September or I'll wait till December and then do because I'll still get a couple more payments this year before. So I haven't decided yet, but that money will be donated to St. Jude. But truly for my love of cruising, I just love the people that I meet through it. So that's really, really all I'm doing it for. I'm not a travel agent. I'm not one of these, monetized channels that are, making big money. Again, what little money I'm making, I'm going to donate. So thank you. The feedback I appreciate. We use Inspire Diagnostics at about $100 per test. So that's the test and the proctor or whatever. Okay, not bad. Where's that located at? Saying hello. Hey there, CME. I see you. Ryan Guerrero, we are family. Awesome. Yeah, we are, for sure. We are a cruise family. I agree with that. I say that all the time. I definitely love the cruise family. But Ryan Guerrero, welcome in. Thank you. I see you there, John and Nancy. Jane and Travis, welcome in. Thank you. Mark Bennett, going on our first ever cruise, Carnival Radiance, November 4th to Ensenada. Do you have any suggestions to enjoy the first cruise as I booked it into your room? Well, Mark, thank you for being here. First of all, have you joined? I don't know if you just joined late, but have you joined the specific sailing group for your cruise? Also, have you joined the Carnival Radiance cruise page? If you haven't, join those. Lots of great opportunities to ask questions, and then the specific groups to meet people you're going to sail with. So suggestions, I'll tell you, the first thing is just go in and relax, right? Go in and enjoy it. Some people, everybody cruises differently. I call it cruise personality. Everybody has different. Some people like to just sit and relax, grab a drink, and just stare at the water, and that's how they like to cruise. I'm the type of person, I have a sedentary job where I sit at this darn desk, every day for multiple hours a day. And when I get on a cruise, I want to move. I want to do stuff. So it's funny. So people that have jobs where they're go, 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 they want to relax. So I truly call it a cruise personality or a vacation personality, because I want to go, 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 because I just sit around all day and do nothing and don't get to interact with humans very much other than, Teams meetings, whatever. So anyway, do what you feel is right for you and your family, if you're traveling with family or friends or whatever. And this whole thing, suggestions and stuff. I mean, the show is to talk about all those things. So if you just joined late, just hang on, ask questions if there's anything specifically. Shameless plug: go watch the videos. I've made a ton of videos about the Carnival Radiance cruise ship and for Ensenada, the port. I've done one on Catalina because I've only been to Catalina once, but I've done a ton of it on Ensenada and of course on the Radiance. So definitely check out the videos. And if you have any questions, reach out to me through Facebook or ask questions in the comments down in the videos. All right, let's see here. Mamet says, I saw in your video that you got tequila from Mexico. Can you get it to your room? Well, let me say this. So you have to turn it over to the Carnival Radiant or Carnival, people. So when you're going through security coming back, they're gonna see it and they're gonna tell you go turn it into the Carnival staff. Do I know people that have just walked onto the ship afterwards and walked right past the staff? Yeah, I do. So I'm not here to tell you to break rules and this and everything else, but you do what you think. But they ask you to turn it in. So and then you pick it up on the last day. Las Conchas? What was that for? I must have missed something. On-point testing. Thank you, Meg. Appreciate it. So the on-point testing is what you would use if you want to use the government-issued, the free test, or if you want to buy this test. They have these ones cheaper, but they're not RX. Then you would still have to get a proctor test. So you would use this on-point testing. So that's you, Mark. Yep, my roomie. We're going to have fun, man. We're having a good time. I'm looking forward to it. So you're getting off as we're getting on. Oh, yeah. And thank you for all the links and all much help. Oh, you're very, very welcome. Man, you can't take it to room. You have to leave it when you get back on. Yeah, that's that's the answer, honestly. Is you're supposed to, again, like I said, and I don't know if that's why you're asking, because people have maybe told you that they've done it. If they have, it's because they just ignored, they just walked right past, because it gets busy when you're coming, especially there's times where it's super busy and there's other people turning their bottles, and what they'll do is they'll just walk right to the room, and they don't catch it. So I don't know if that's why you asked the question. I just want to be honest. I'm not encouraging anyone to break rules and stuff. So Fordman says, I can't wait to experience. Yeah, I can't wait. Again, like I said, I can't wait to see that. No problem. Thank you. Yes. I'm getting behind in the chat, so I gotta answer quickly. Is there anything special done for the Thanksgiving cruise? I know they have a menu, like in the main dining room. They have some specific menu items. But has anybody cruised on Thanksgiving? I haven't personally. We've talked about it a few times as a family to do it, but haven't done it. So I do know that there's a special menu for it, but anything else, I don't know. So if anybody's cruised during Thanksgiving, please let Adrienne know. Hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. Adrienne? Let me know. For first-time cruiser Mark, you can leave the TV on overnight on the Bow camera channel. That's like having a virtual window. Oh, for the person with the interior. All right, Eric. Thank you. Thank you for being here. So that I've heard that before, where people will leave that channel on, and gives them. And another little tip, just because he's mentioning that, I would say if you in the future, and I did a little video on it as well. When I book my interiors, I always look for portholes, because you get them for the price, and they're technically not interiors, right? But they fall under the interior category, and the pricing is the same. So to me, it's like, why not, right? I don't mind the interior. I don't care too much, but I'm thinking if I can get it at the same price, why not? So for anybody in the future, if you're booking an interior, look for the ones with the portholes. So if you want, a little bit of natural light, etc. I've turned my drinks in, have free casino drinks, so I don't need it. Let's see. Thank you, Eric. My wife was upset that I did not get a window or balcony, but I wanted to make sure we would enjoy cruising before moving up to the more expensive. So, Mark, I don't know if it's too late, and I don't know who you book through. If you book through a travel agent or personal vacation planner or directly, but see if you could find one of those porthole rooms and switch to it. And again, the price wise, it's about the same. I mean, if anything, you might pay a few bucks more, but not a lot. But typically same price. So look into that, Mark. Let me know. Arlie Brock says hi from California. Well, hello from Arizona. I used to live in California. I grew up in San Diego. For those that know. So where at in California, if you don't mind me asking, Arlie, and thank you for being here. Hey, Paul, I see you there. Hello, welcome in. Las Conchas is a housing area in Rocky Point. Ah, okay. Chuck, do you have property down there? Or I must have missed something you said about Las Conchas. But yeah, we're staying in Sonoran Sea, those condos, the Sonoran Sea condos. We got one. It was really nice. It's like I got it at ground level. You walk out and the ocean's like steps away. So really, really nice. I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably do a little video while I'm down there to share with everybody. It's a hidden gem for us people here in Arizona. It's really nice. Some people from California know about it as well. Definitely a great place to go vacation. We finally booked a cruise. My friend has been trying to get me to do one. We are going during Easter. Well, hello, Kelly Flores. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. I'll tell you, I love cruising, so I'm a bit biased, but I think you'll truly love it. It's a great way to vacation, and I'd love to hear back from you after you return from your cruise. So if you are not connected with me on Facebook, please do get connected with me because I'd love to hear all about that experience when you get back. When is your cruise, Kelly? If you could just let us know if you don't mind sharing that. Let's see, plenty of video footage. Okay, Sonia says, lady in front of me told them it was olive oil and let her take it. So, LOL, who knows? Oh, for the alcohol. Okay, yeah. I mean, especially those big bottles, right? Yeah. I mean, I guess they could say. I mean, people are gonna do whatever they can, right? And I think the cruise lines know. Whether it's people using, rum runners and fake shampoo bottles to bring stuff on. Some of the stuff they're hip to, and some people are really good at sneaking it on or whatever. Again, to each their own. I'm not here to judge either way. We did Thanksgiving cruise last year. It was good, but we had our Mexican Thanksgiving meal in Cabo. Gotcha. I love the videos. I'm learning a lot. Well, thank you, Kelly. Thank you for watching the videos. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to connect with me on Facebook or just ask them I'm very responsive to the questions that are asked in the YouTube comments as well. So thank you. Appreciate you sharing that. What is a good hotel motel to stay at? I've stayed in 3 different. I usually drive to San Diego, stay at my parents' house. It gives me an opportunity to hang out with them, see them before my cruise. But there's been a few times, and it's usually when I'm going with friends, that I've stayed in hotels. So I've stayed at the Hyatt Regency. That was the first time. I stayed at the Hyatt Regency. It was really, really nice. Pretty expensive, but my friend had points, and we got this really beautiful presidential suite. It was really nice. Got spoiled on that one. But that was a nice hotel. The second time around, we stayed at the DoubleTree by Hilton San Pedro, which was really nice. I did the park and cruise option with that one, and it was very, for the 7, because that was a 7-day cruise on the Panorama. So when you take the 7-day cruise cost of parking at the port, it was a really good deal. I had to Uber over, and I think that was like $20 there, $20 back. So you got to factor that in. And then this last time around in March, again, doing a back-to-back for 7 days, I stayed at the Hotel Maya, which is right next to the cruise terminal. And I absolutely I love them all, right, for different reasons. But I really, really like the Hotel Maya. If you don't care about being like the Hyatt Regency is the best place to stay if you want to go like walk to nightlife or walk to go get something to eat and do all that stuff. There's definitely a lot more around it. The DoubleTree by San Pedro is kind of far away, so you got to drive or Uber in to town to do stuff. Same thing with the Hotel Maya because it's by the cruise terminal if you want to go into like the downtown Long Beach area. So just those things to keep in mind. Me, I don't care. I just would rather just do whatever at the hotel. So I really like the Hotel Maya with the fire pits and the water being so close and this little sand beach area. It's really nice. So those are the ones I prefer. Yeah, they're a little bit on the pricey side, but I'm sure there are cheaper options. You just have to really be careful and maybe check and ask locals what are some good places to stay. Let's see what else here. Honey, I did until the divorce. Oh man, you lost it in the divorce. I'm sorry. Okay. Sailing on the Radiance 99. Hi Jennifer, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Are you part of the Facebook group for your sailing? And if not, make sure to join it. If you need the link, let me know, and I'll get that link for you. From Barstow, Arlington is my dad. I'm the 14-year-old that wants to throw it. Oh, okay. Okay. From Barstow. Well, Barstow, I'm very familiar with. When I lived in San Diego, that was the stop, right? When you go to Vegas. So we would stop in Barstow, get something to eat, get some fuel, and then move on. So very familiar with Barstow. And you're the 14-year-old that was throwing Circle C. Okay. So I have 3 daughters. I have they're now 10, 14. 10, 14, and 17. And they love it. So don't feel too bad. You'll enjoy it. You'll really, they love it. They miss cruising. They've chosen not to get vaccinated. I get it. I don't want to force it on them. But anyway, so hopefully once that's lifted, they can cruise again. They absolutely, like I said, love cruising. They've all been doing it since they were little. Yeah, very, very little. So, and they love Camp Ocean, Circle C, all that stuff. So, have you done a Christmas cruise? Do they do anything special? I'm booked on the Panorama. I have not. Again, we talked about as a family, because we always I have 3 sisters, and they all have families, and so we usually get together in San Diego at my mom's house for Thanksgiving, or at my sister's house for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And we've talked about it. They've recently gotten into cruising. My mom and dad love cruising. One of my sisters has cruised once, and she'd like to try it again. And my youngest sister wants to start cruising. So we've talked about doing a family vacation. But again, same thing. We have a mix of people that are vaccinated and unvaccinated. So to cruise as a family, we're going to have to wait to do that. So to answer your question, no, I haven't done a Christmas cruise. If anybody has, please feel free to share your thoughts and your experiences. I do know that they decorate really nicely for Christmas. I've seen from videos where they do like Christmas carols and things like that. But if anybody else wants to share any personal experiences, feel free to. Cruising scene with travel in between. Hello, welcome in. Thanks for being here. That's a new name. Beth, we really enjoyed the Hotel Maya near the port. It's very tropical. Has a great old Hawaiian vibe. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. I do. I maybe that's why I love it so much, because for land-based vacation, if I can't cruise, Hawaii's my place. I've been there 4 times, 3 times to Oahu, once to Maui. So maybe that's what I love about the Hotel Maya. It gives me that Hawaiian vibe. So, and Kelly's saying, thank you, Beth. Do they offer shuttle? I think maybe she already answered you, but yes, they do. And I have a video on the Hotel Maya. Kelly, if you haven't seen it yet, check it out. I do have a video, and it covers the shuttle and all that stuff as well. Send the link. I'm on the Radiance group, but not sure if it's yours. Okay, let me look here real quick. September, I think you said September 9th, right? Yeah, I'm somebody else is the admin in that group. I'm not on that sailing, but I'm in there helping. Who's the admin? Lisa. Lisa's the admin in there, and I'm in there helping her out. So Jennifer, I'm going to just drop in the link here for you. Whoa. So you're probably in the same group, but let me just drop it just real quick. Okay. Eric, the Residence Inn is the other hotel, along with Hotel Maya on the island with the cruise terminal. Address is on Queens Island. That's true. That's right. The Residence Inn is right there, and definitely a good option. So check that out. Thank you, Eric, for dropping that in. I'm in. Yes, they do. What did you think of the Radiant spa size compared to the other ships? I've never. Here's the thing. That video I did just recently, Stephen, was the first time I've gone into any spa on any of the ships that I recall. To be honest with you, I just never had the desire or reason to. I just did it on this one because I wanted to make a video about it. But it was cool. I'm glad I did, because I learned some cool things. Pricing. What I've found is that the pricing for other things like food and things like that on the ship is pretty reasonable and pretty affordable. The spa pricing, I feel, is a little bit like I just found out. I was talking to somebody. they were asking me about the pricing for if you just want to do like a spa pass or whatever to use the sauna and steam room and all that. And I didn't ask during the tour. So somebody on the ship messaged me and said it's $130, I think, or $103, excuse me, per person. Let me just double check because check my Facebook Messenger. 103. Okay, so for the weekend, they told it was $103 per person to use the sauna steam rooms. So, but spa size, I mean, it seemed pretty good size for the size. I'm not familiar with the other ones, but it was pretty good size. The steam rooms and the saunas were pretty large. That one, if you saw the video where the windows are, was huge. It was massive. Like I walked in, it was amazing. So I don't know. And the gym area was very, very big. So I felt like it was a really good size. Awesome. Thank you, Eric. I'll check them both out. Thank you. I'll check it out. Okay. Good old Barstool, California. Yeah, there's the link. Just join. Awesome. Okay. Thanks, Blaine. I figured I should be. Okay. Cool. Let me go back to my list. What time is it? Let's see if there's any more questions. I'm going to see if I can cover a few more things. Then I'll probably, if there's no more questions, I'll go ahead and drop. So I just want to finish, at least if nothing else, what I had for my before, your trip things to do. What's a gym? Yeah, exactly, right? Especially on the cruise ship. Research and consider purchasing travel insurance is one of the other bullet points I put in there. So I used to, when we traveled as a family, I could tell you that I bought insurance every time after. So the first two cruises that we did, the first one, my daughter, the middle child, she was the youngest at the time. We didn't have the third one. But anyway, she got sick on the cruise, and we ended up having to take her to the emergency room there on the cruise ship and this and that. She had like difficulty breathing. Yeah, it was kind of scary. And then scarily enough, when we had our youngest daughter, she also had the same issue on the ship, which was really, really weird. I don't know why, but she had the same issue with the coughing and difficulty breathing. And we're talking about, this is way before COVID. This was like 2011 and then 2014, I think was when, the second daughter that happened to. Anyway, because of that, we got insurance because I thought, God forbid, if anything major happened or we had to be, evacuated, this and that, and if my insurance on land didn't cover it, we'd be in big trouble. So anyway, so definitely research and consider it using travel insurance. Get small bills for tipping at the ports and on the ship. I mentioned that earlier. So again, just based on your budget level and this and that, it's not mandatory that you can prepay your gratuities and then all that. But if you have extra to help these people out, I mean, they people that work on these ships, man, they do a lot. They work hard for us, and anything I can give them extra, I try to, especially the ones that that I end up building a good rapport with, and they take care of you. Get a passport. Now again, it's not required. You could use your birth certificate and ID and all that, but I can tell you it's just so much easier. And you can get the passport card. Unless you're planning to fly internationally, then you would need the book. But if you're just driving or cruising, you can use the passport card, which is a lot cheaper than the book. So if you have no intention on flying, now if you do have intention on flying at some point internationally, I would say get the book because you would still have to buy it separately down the road. So if you have an intention to buy it within the last, if you're an adult, right, 10 years. So just keep that in mind. Just makes it easier, especially when you're leaving the port. Okay, and the last point again, and I'll just wrap this up, is if you're going to purchase stuff on the cruise, Wi-Fi, Cheers package, Bubbles package, etc., a lot of those you'll get a discount if you buy it before the cruise versus on the cruise ship. So don't wait until you get on the cruise ship to buy them. Go ahead. If you have every intention to purchase any of those things, go ahead and do it while you're on the cruise. Before the cruise, excuse me. And if you get onboard credit as part of your booking, you can use that onboard credit now to buy these things beforehand. So just keep that in mind. All right, guys, that's my last bullet point. I want to try to do these more often, especially since I'm not cruising again until August. And I just miss the camaraderie, the talking and chit-chatting. So I'll definitely have a lot more to share. I'll try to do this again maybe every Sunday. This seems like a good time, good engagement. So I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you again. I'm Hani with the Beach Life. If you're not connected with me on Facebook, please do so. I have my Hani Beach Life Facebook that you can just directly connect with me. I have my Facebook group, which is the Beach Life on YouTube. Any one of those things. If you don't like to join groups, you can just connect with me directly at the my Hani Beach Life account. All right, everybody, have a great evening, or great Sunday, and a great evening. We'll talk to you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye now.